Hello, welcome to my interpersonal communications project. The title is Eyes Wide Open because that is exactly what I have experienced during my course. My name is Mika Smith. Now, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I tell you, this fabulous pooch has learned some amazing lessons over the last few weeks. I never really understood the need to improve communication skills until I learned how lacking my skills have been. My eyes have definitely been opened. So, what we're going to talk about in this time together is my passion for hurting women, what it means to have a DIS personality. I'm going to tell you about some of my communication pitfalls. I'm going to tell you about some of the strategies and resources that I've learned. I'm going to give you what my communication action plan is, and I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite scriptures. So, what am I doing with my life? What are my goals? My goal is to go forward in the ministry of counseling hurting women by building that therapeutic relationship, and I'm going to demonstrate that warmth, empathy, and genuineness. As a child of God, in order to help these women transform their lives for Christ, I have to have good interpersonal communication skills. So, what is my personality? According to my uniquely you profile, I am considered a DIS, which means I am dominating, inspiring, and submissive all at the same time. And because I have all three motivations working in me at the same time, I can be a little hard to read. And so that is one of my personality weaknesses. But I am a great multitasker. I'm a people person, I'm a take charge type of leader, and that makes me popular and accepted. I am well liked. I have this ability to really put people at ease. I have great passions for my interests, which includes caring for those that are hurting, and that makes people feel close to me. Now, some of the things that get me into trouble is I make quick decisions and I really don't think things through. I don't count up the costs. I'm not very cautious like I need to be. I can be demanding and I try to control others, which has gotten me into a lot of trouble. So when I think about communication pitfalls, one of the first things that comes to mind is mindless listening. I am a multitasker and I get into my zone of doing many things at once. I don't pay attention to, I don't give communication fully the attention that it deserves when I'm busy doing things. I'm flat brained. I go into the flat brain syndrome. It's so funny that there's actually a name for it, but I get emotionally overloaded and my belly swells, it flattens my brain, and my mouth flies off the handle. And I say hurtful things. Ritual listening is something that I've done for so long, didn't even know about it. But I listen to defend and to jump in and get my point. I wait for that space of just a moment's pause for me to jump in there and say what I need to say. And I'm thinking about what I need to say while they're talking. Not a good thing for me. Another communication pitfall is the flat brain tango. I do this with my teenage son all the time because he's a flat brain thinker. And so we go at it and communication is just at a stalemate. It doesn't progress. Defensive communication has been my way of communicating. That is my go-to. If something is said that I don't like, even since I was a little kid, because of abuse and neglect, I've always had to protect me. And so if I feel attacked in any way or like my point isn't being seen, I'm going to defend myself, which that hurts my relationships. Giving advice, I'm guilty because I'm so passionate and I love people and I want to help. I go about the business of owning other people's problems and trying to fix their issues. And then sometimes I get mad when they don't take my advice. So the resources and strategies that I am taking away from this course is one of self-reflection, okay? So one of the things that I have learned is that my deficits, I needed to know about this stuff to help me understand and reflect and grow. I learned that communication is it's multifaceted, and there's so many different situations and people that I'm going to encounter, and it's going to require different communication approaches. And now I have an arsenal of things that to fall back on. I feel equipped to be able to move forward. Okay. Additional resources. Folk learn how to focus, be in the moment, giving myself time to process before I speak, recognizing those thud moments, being able to take other people's perspectives and put myself in their shoes, letting myself off the hook of trying to fix other people's problems is going to be a great strategy for me moving forward. Mindful listening, and because I already have it in me, all I have to do is just keep working at it and building that skill. The talker listener card is monumental. It's a great resource that really helps me understand my role as when it's my turn to talk and my role as a listener. My relationship with Christ is going to be my strongest and my best resource because it is what drives me daily, and it is what is going to make all of this possible for me to be that effective communicator. And last but not least is my personal counseling. I have experienced a lot of growth even in just a few weeks of taking this course because I have been able to employ strategies and things that I've learned and apply it to my counseling session, which is helping me so much. And so my plan of action, how am I actually going to do this? And so one of the things is to make sure that I am intentional. When I'm engaged in conversation, I need to make sure that I am intentional, which helps me be an effective communicator. Stopping what I'm doing, letting that person know that they have my attention, and just being present in the moment. And when I feel myself losing focus, gently interrupt, apologize, reflect, and summarize what they say to make sure that I am receiving what they say and that they are communicating to me what they want to communicate, and then get back to the business of listening. And instead of being defensive and trying to persuade others to my point of view, just making sure that I'm open to hear what someone else is saying and really allow myself to be open to other options. Focus on ours and what we're building and not just me. Another thing that I plan to do going forward is listening empathically and reflecting. And this goes along with me not trying to fix people's stuff, but doing this in the manner that allows people to solve their own problems. And last but not least is when I'm feeling that thud and my brain goes flat, instead of just unloading and letting my mouth fly out the handle, it's basically I'm going to take myself out of the situation, get off the dance floor of the flat brain tango, give myself time to process and think about what is going to be the most beneficial for this relationship going forward and how I react. And last but not least, my action plan is I'm going to do what feels unnatural. I'm going to focus on building healthy relationships and building those generative spirals. This is a plan that I feel that's going to allow me to grow and build and enhance other people's experiences with me. And so in closing, I want to leave you with one of my favorite scriptures. And it says, "Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." And that's in Matthew 25:40. Thank you for listening.